Hey, it's Penny here. So we're starting another reading vlog. This week is going to be a bit crazy because I think I have a list of like 8 books that I need to read this week in order to finish off my NEWTs for my NEWTs Readathon, which seems somewhat crazy, especially since the end of the month is on Saturday, but I know I'm going to want to spend Friday and Saturday with Jace probably, so that means really only got like 4 days left to read like 8 books. And it's pretty much one physical book every day and then an audiobook every 2 days, and I have another one where I just have a couple of hours to go, and then a graphic novel, which should be quick. But anyway, a book every day seems crazy. So I'll give you a really quick overview. So firstly, for Ancient Runes, I've got all 3 of these physical books to read. This one should be really quick. Maybe this one too, not sure about this one. So that's what I need to read. Also, not even related to the NEWTs, I'm finishing off 1984 today. I'm like a third of the way through, but I need to finish it off today because it's due back at the library. Although I'm pretty sure as long as I return it before the library opens tomorrow morning, that I'll be okay. So today my focus is finishing off 1984. I am really enjoying it. I can't believe I haven't read this before then. I really wish I'd studied this in school because I think I would have got a lot out of this as a teen reading this. And it's really interesting how it's like a dystopian, but it's just like one step away from where we are now in some ways. So that's scary, but also really interesting. So those are the 4 like main physical books that I need to read. Audiobooks wise, so last week I started listening to The Winter of the Witch by Catherine Arden, which is the 3rd book in the Winter Nights series. I just need to finish this in order to finish astronomy, and I only have like a couple more hours of this, so nearly done with astronomy. I've still got a lot to do for Ancient Runes. So then also I need to listen to the audiobook of Spellslinger and then read The Tea Dragon Society before I can finish off Herbology. So hopefully I can manage that. And then the only other one is Arithmancy, which I just need to read The Smoke Thieves. Oh, you can't see that at all. I'll try and put it. The Smoke Thieves by Sally Green. So I'm excited to read that. In fact, I'm excited to read most of this, but it's a lot to read. I will probably finish off The Winter of the Witch today and also 1984. That's the goal for today. 1984 and The Winter of the Witch. And then every day we'll have a new book to add as a goal. It's going to be a crazy week for reading. Also, I've decided to change things up a bit this week. I've decided to focus each day on a different thing because I was trying to have like working hours, and to be honest, it's not working out. So when things don't work, you change them. So basically, I'm going to just put Thursday aside the whole day for work-related stuff. Today, I spent the day doing Booktube, which would have gone much better if iMovie hadn't decided to be a complete dick, but I did get some stuff done. Tomorrow, I'm going to spend the day mostly outside because I've been promised sunshine. So I'm going to go outside and clean up all my yard and mow the lawns and pull up weeds and clean my outdoor furniture and just do housework stuff all day and like home improvement stuff. Should be good. Also, I'm going to list a bunch more stuff for sale on Trade Me, which would be good. Oh, and then on Wednesday, I've got my infusion, so I'm just going to have that as like a relax day. Anyway, I've got lots of plans for this week and a lot of reading to do, so I'll check in with you when I've actually read something. So, the promised sunshine has arrived, kind of. There's still a few more clouds than I would like, but it is still winter, so we can't complain too much. I have set up my little outside reading area, so that is nice. I've been trying to finish off 1984. I had expected to finish it already, but I haven't. But I am up to page 300, so I'm nearly there. I think the problem is, like, I was really enjoying it until it got to this bit where it had this huge excerpt of this manifesto, and it just went on, and I got a bit bored. And ever since then, it hasn't quite got back on track. Also, I think I was just a bit optimistic, thinking I could finish it yesterday. So I'm going to finish it up and then return it to the library. We'll see how we go. I'm trying to do like read a chapter and then go and do some kind of house tidying thingy. I've also been listening to Winter of the Witch a little bit. Well, you can't see that. Winter of the Witch while I do the house tidying stuff. And there were some aspects of what's just happened that I quite liked, the way that the kind of the magic is coming together, but still a lot of boring conversations. So I'm nearly there. I'll be glad when I finish, but we're not quite there yet. So I'm going to go read some more 1984 and then check in a bit later. Good evening. So it is most definitely bedtime. So today I did manage to get quite a decent amount of house stuff done, like outside stuff. Probably still not as much as I was hoping to do, and there's definitely still a lot more that I need to do, but still I made progress and that was good. Also, I made progress reading-wise. So while I was doing all the outside stuff, I was listening to and finishing off The Winter of the Witch. So in the end, like, I kind of like the way that things all wrapped up. I still think there was a lot more talking than there needed to be, but I do think that if you liked The Bear and the Nightingale, you probably like the rest of the series. It's just not for me. And I will say, like, so then I went for a walk to pick some things up from the supermarket, and I started reading Spellslinger by Sebastian de Castell, I think. So this is the group book for the NEWTs. I started listening to that audiobook, and it's just so much more engaging in terms of the writing style. I think like having the two contrasted so closely together was really interesting. Although, I mean, Spellslinger is not perfect either. There was definitely a line I let out a breath I didn't know I was holding, which, since this is a group book, I'm sure a few people will comment on that, but I'm still enjoying Spellslinger, and I managed to get through a decent amount of it. I've still got quite a lot to go, which does put me behind, but that's okay. We'll just do our best. I did also finish 1984. To be honest, I kind of didn't like the end, mainly because once it got to the part where it started, he got this book full of like propaganda information. I don't know, it pretty much just turned into this big spiel of propaganda and rhetoric, and just, I didn't really enjoy it. I enjoyed more when it was like seeing him interacting in the world and seeing how messed up the world was, but just all this explanation about why the world was like this, wasn't that fun to read? So up until that point, I'd kind of been thinking, oh, for a classic, the writing style is okay, but once it got to that, I just wasn't really as interested, and I had to like force myself to keep going. So that was disappointing because I had so much hope for the first half. I still think it would have been interesting to read like while I was at school and to study it properly. I would have liked for the first half, I was wishing it wasn't a library book so I could be annotating it, but I wouldn't have wanted to bother for the second half probably. So, since I finished Winter of the Witch, that does mean that I have now finished astronomy as well, because I only needed to get my E in astronomy. So I read Descender number 2 for my A, because I think it had to have moon in the title, and the second one needed to have night in the title or the series title, and Winter of the Witch is the Winter Night series. So I finished astronomy. I did, when I went to the mall, have a look for some astronomy, probably some kind of star reward, but I didn't find anything. I might have another look tomorrow because I definitely feel the need to be rewarded. But now I am going to go to bed because I need to get up early tomorrow morning. Unfortunately, my infusion's always really early, which is a bit annoying. But anyway, just before I go to bed, I'm going to read a bit of The Magic Misfits. I read a little bit just before, like 28 pages, and I'm really enjoying it. It's so fun. There's this intro at the beginning that has like a secret message in it, and also it has pictures. So even though this is a middle grade book, but I just think it's going to be so much fun, and I think I should be able to read it relatively quickly. So anyway, that was probably a long update because I'm reading a lot of things here, but we need to be doing a lot of sleep as well, so I'll see you tomorrow. Hi, so I have finished my infusion and now I've just stopped at the mall on my way home to get myself my astronomy award. So I thought I'd share it with you. So firstly, I got these star socks because stars are all about astronomy and also I love socks. And I also got myself this little galaxy bath fizzer, which I will enjoy tonight probably. So that was both a pretty cheap and I think a pretty good astronomy award. Also, during my infusion, I actually started reading Holes. I didn't take Magic Misfits, not because I'm embarrassed to read middle grade. This is middle grade probably as well, but I just thought that sometimes the nurses asked what you're going to read, and I knew that Magic Misfits would be a much longer conversation that I wasn't really up to having. So instead I took Holes, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm really glad that I've watched the movie in the past, so I know how everything links together. Otherwise, I think I would probably be a bit annoyed about some of the little historical interludes. But I am really enjoying this. One thing though, the main character is supposed to be overweight, but this guy here, I forget this actor's name, but he plays the character in the movie and he's not overweight. Why do overweight characters in books never get to be overweight in the movies? Anyway, I did manage to get up to page 136. It's only 200-ish pages, so we're almost there with this one. So now I'm like a decent way through 2 books. I'm going to try and finish them today. And then, oh, my battery's running out, so that's all, I guess, for now. And I'll check in when I've made some more progress on reading. Good evening. So it is the end of the day and I thought I'd better check in because I have finished 2 books today. So firstly, I did manage to finish Holes. Oh, I can take my bookmark off. Also, these bookmarks that I use, you like clip on this little ribbon and they're amazing. Definitely recommend them. They're called book jigs. Definitely my favorite bookmarks. Anyway, I'm being distracted. I should talk about Holes. This is just, honestly, superior middle grade fiction. I would recommend this for anyone if you haven't read it, and if you haven't seen the movie, you'd probably enjoy that too. I think it wrapped up really well, and I just really enjoyed it. And also, bonus, it was really quick to read. So what I've decided is that I'm going to swap out Peeps for the sequel to Holes because my sister gave this to me, and I was reading Peeps for the prompt for a book recommended by a friend. My sister gave this to me, so that counts as a recommendation, right? And since I've just read Holes, it would make a lot of sense to read the sequel straight after it. Even though I don't think they're necessarily too linked, but I'm going to read that hopefully tomorrow. The other book that I managed to finish, so I went for a walk to visit my sister and walk with her and her dog. And while I was doing that, I listened to Spellslinger and I have now finished it. I do think it was a lot of fun, although I think the narrator of the audiobook really is what made it. I think the narration was just really genuine and well acted, so I definitely would recommend the audiobook if you want to pick it up. It also kind of had similar vibes to the Iron Trial, which I read recently, so it's that kind of like young adult fantasy thing. Have I even said what Spellslinger is about? It is the group book for the NEWTs, so probably a lot of people will be reading it, but it follows this boy who is at this mage school type thing. Unfortunately, just as he's approaching his trials to become a full mage, he realizes he's lost his powers, and so he's trying to like trick his way through the trials. It's cool. Every time there's like something happening, I think it's going to turn out a particular way, and it always comes out a different way, which in some ways is good because it's a surprise, but in some ways I sometimes think my ideas were better, but still, I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. So then also the other book I've been reading is The Magic Misfits. So I'm about a third of the way through this. I don't think I've said what this is about either. I don't think I really knew, but now I know. It's about an orphan whose parents have died. That's what makes him an orphan. And he has been given to his uncle to look after his uncle's basically a con artist, and so he's not having a great time, although he does learn how to do some magic tricks from his uncle. And then right at the beginning of the book, he jumps on this train to get away from his uncle, and he finds himself in this weird town with this circus. I don't know. It's fun. So I'm going to go to bed now and continue reading this. As I said, I'm a third of the way, so you never know. I might finish it tonight. Then I'll just have 2 books left to read for my NEWTs. The first is, oh, you can't quite see it, but it's the Tea Dragon Society, so that's an easy one. So the other one, I was going to be reading The Smoke Thieves by Sally Green, but I realized that the audiobook that I thought I had is actually the ebook. And I definitely don't have time to read an ebook right now. So instead, I'm going to swap it out for a 19-hour audiobook. Does that seem easier? Not really, but the prompt is to read a book over 400 pages, so it's going to be somewhat long regardless of the format. So I'm going to listen to Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. I read Red Rising, which is the first book in that series, just recently, and that's the second book. So I'm going to try and listen to that, I guess, tomorrow. Even if I listen to it quite fast, it's still going to take me more than 10 hours. So I guess we'll work out what's going to happen there, but I'll work that out tomorrow. For now, I'm going to go to bed and try and finish this. Good afternoon. So I've done some more reading today. I managed to finish The Magic Misfits. It did take me a while, but I actually really enjoyed it. It's all about getting to know new friends, and also like there's this criminal and there's heaps of different hidden messages through this. And also these 2 twins, Ollie and Izzy, they're my favorite. They had some really laugh out loud lines. And also I have to say, there's no chapter 13, which I also really appreciated. I think this would be a really great book for young kids, especially like it's got a whole bunch of like magic lessons throughout it, which I haven't had a chance to practice, but I would like to. And this is a series, so I imagine that by the time you've read 3 books, you would have learned quite a lot of magic, which would be pretty cool as a kid. So I finished that, and I also finished The Tea Dragon Society, which took me no time at all, and oh my goodness, it was really lovely and beautiful. And I mean, it took me like 10-15 minutes to read. It's not very long, but it's just beautiful, and the art is lovely, and can't really go wrong when it's only going to take you that much time to read and it's beautiful. So I love that too. Now, what do we have left to read? So you know how yesterday I said that I was going to swap out Peeps for Small Steps to make things easier? Well, I figured out a way to make things even easier for myself, because it's 3 o'clock and I still have to read 1 physical book and 1 audiobook. So that's a lot, considering that the next 2 days after today I won't have much time for reading. But I made things easier for myself. So the prompt that I was going to read Peeps or Small Steps for is a book recommended by a friend. So instead I'm going to read Death Note 6, which my brother has been bugging me about why I'm not getting through this series faster. So he definitely recommends it. So I'm going to read this instead, and this won't take me that long to read. So it's a good plan. So that, and the other thing that I need to get through is Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. So I've got 16 hours left. So that means I've read about 3 hours today, which I mostly just did while I was doing other things. Since I'm also about to go into town for this work-related event, I should be able to listen to a decent amount of it on my way there and on my way back. And I am listening to it on 2 times speed. But still, I've got 16 hours to go, so that's still another 8 hours. And I don't know where I'm quite fitting in 8 hours, but I might have some time tomorrow morning as well. So we'll see what we can do. Also, now that I have finished The Tea Dragon Society, I have finished my herbology. So I read The Introvert Advantage for my A, Spellslinger for my E, and then Tea Dragon Society for my O. So we're done with herbology, and I get to get my reward. I might try and, depending how early the work event finishes, grab something on my way home. But we'll see. I mean, I have an idea for what I want for a reward. If I can't get anything tonight, probably have to wait till like Sunday. So I'll probably check in again tomorrow to show you that reward, and also just let you know how we're doing in these last few days of the readathon. Hi, so I am just waiting for Jace to come around, and then we're probably going to go out because today is a beautiful sunny day and I think we should take advantage of that. So reading wise, I've been listening to Golden Sun. I'm up to 2.7 times speed because, to be honest, I'm not enjoying it. There are so many characters and I just can't keep track of them. He keeps like, suddenly he'll meet up with this new character from my perspective because I don't remember them, and suddenly he's having this emotional conversation with them and I'm like, yeah, but who is this? I just can't keep track. Or even like, I know who the person is, but like, I don't remember why we're getting so emotional. I just don't care enough. I do feel like now that I'm up to like the last 2 hours of it, that it's starting to get good again. And this is what happened in the last book. I just didn't care for most of the book, and then right at the end things kind of came together and it convinced me that I should continue the series. But after listening to 17 hours of just nonsense that I wasn't on board with, I think this series is not for me. Obviously it is for a lot of people because a lot of people really love this series, but it's not for me. So once I finish this, I will be done with that. That's how it works. So I'm gonna try and finish this before Jace gets here. Hopefully he won't come too early and I will have done that because he won't want to listen to this. And if he comes early, he's going to have to listen to this till I finish it. So he doesn't even like listening to things when it's 1.5 times speed. He thinks I'm crazy. So if I played him something at 2.7 times speed, I'm sure he'd be like, what is that? Anyway, also, I haven't even started Death Note 6. And so I need to finish it by tomorrow. So I guess while we're out traveling around, I'll try and fit in some reading time, maybe sit in the sun somewhere on the grass and do some reading. It is meant to rain later, but I'm in denial. So hopefully I can read some of this, and I guess next time I see you it'll probably be Sunday and the NEWTs will be finished. But between now and then I'll probably include a bunch of footage of wherever we go today, some nice nature. So you'll have to wait for all of that to find out whether I finish my NEWTs in time or not. Okay, so it is just after midnight on August 31st, so just past the end of the NEWTs, and I only got home at 11 o'clock because we ended up having like a very last minute organized dinner for my mum's birthday, even though it's not till the end of next week, but stuff. Anyway, we had dinner and then I just managed to get home like 11-ish, and then I rushed to finish this before midnight, and I just got it done like a little bit before midnight. So also really good is that I'm really enjoying this. Like, it's back on track for what I want from this series, which is great and makes me really excited to continue. So that means that I have finished my NEWTs. I am qualified to become an alchemist. I mean, there's a lot more studying and experimentation that comes along with being an alchemist, but at least I've got the Hogwarts qualifications that I need, and I'm kind of proud of myself for getting all that reading done. And also, I haven't as yet signed up or like committed myself to any readathons in September, so hopefully my reading in September will be a bit calmer and I can focus on finding some books that I really love. I did actually start listening to The Test by Sylvain Neuvel, which is a short story. I think the audiobook's only about 3 hours long. I started listening to that when I was driving around today and I'm really enjoying it. I was very sad to arrive home and have to stop listening to it, to be honest. So definitely going to finish that tomorrow, which is cool. But right now, I'm going to go to sleep, and then tomorrow we'll work out rewards and celebrations for passing my NEWTs. Hi, so as I said last night, I finished my NEWTs, which I'm really proud about. Feels very nice to know that I'm now qualified to be an alchemist. So what I did today is I went this morning and bought myself my herbology reward. So I got myself this little friend here. She's got some beautiful flowers. Now, to be honest, I'm not very good at plants, but I've kept my lucky bamboo alive for like a year now, so maybe I'm getting better. And this one, I was sold on it because it says easy to grow. So hopefully I can keep this girl alive. Now, I would love for you to suggest a name because she is going to need a beautiful name to go with her beautiful flowers. It does say she flowers for quite a long time, so fingers crossed she'll be beautiful for a while. And hopefully I can keep her alive. I think as well, so for my arithmancy reward, I'm going to give myself $5 to spend at the casino next week, because casinos are all numbers based behind the scenes. Usually I just play like on the pokie machines and I only bet 5 cents, and I limit myself. Like, I've never spent more than $10. I think if you're going to go to the casino, which I do because it helps me get free parking and sometimes we win other things, but obviously some people have difficulties with the casino and it's really important to know your limits. So I'll give myself $5 for the casino, which is very generous of me. I'll probably go next week since I'm going to be in town next week using the car park. So the one subject that I haven't got myself a reward for yet is ancient runes, and I honestly don't know for ancient runes what my reward should be. You will notice like all of the rewards I've done so far have been really cheap, except I think Transfiguration. I bought some makeup. That was the most expensive one I did, but most of it's been really cheap. So I'm trying to think of something that's like runes or letter based that I could get myself that's cheap. I don't know. If you've got any suggestions, I would appreciate those. Then also, I got this in the mail today from a book depository. So I'm pretty sure this is one of the books that I got in a giveaway by Cat Talks. She is sending me 2 books. This is one of them. I'm not sure which one. So we'll open it up and see what we've got. It actually got here pretty quick. Sometimes book depository takes a while to ship to New Zealand, but I think it's only been like a week or 2. Pretty good. So what have we got? It is the Calculating Stars. So Cat Talks has read this series, the first 2 books I think she's read, and I think it's really interesting. I mean, I think the best summary is that it's a lady astronaut novel. That's really what's made me interested in it. It's a bit longer than I expected, which is exciting actually, because I want more of this story. So I'm excited to get to this one, and hopefully the other book won't be that far away. Since they were dispatched about the same time. But I was super excited to win the giveaway because I've never won a giveaway before. And like, free books. Cool. Oh, and also I will leave Cat Talks' channel link down below if you want to check her out. She does some really fun videos. Sometimes she did a tag recently and she added some really fun bits to it. So check that out. And I don't know when I'll get to reading this because I've already done my September TBR, but maybe I'll try and fit it in soon. So what else? As far as reading goes, I haven't picked up any more physical books since last night. Obviously, I do need to get some more of Death Note because my brother is getting mad at me, and I am about halfway through the test by Sylvain Neuvel now. I would have finished it, but I forgot to take my earphones with me when I went shopping this morning. Dumb. Anyway, I am really enjoying it, so I will probably still finish that off sometime today, but I'll talk about that more in my next vlog or in whatever wrap up I include it in. Probably September now, because it's September now. What the hell? So I'm going to end this vlog here because also what I'm going to do this afternoon is fix up my hair and re-dye it, but I'm going to try something a little bit experimental, and if it doesn't work out then I just won't film until I can like cover it up or fix it up or something. But we'll see how it goes. I do need to film my wrap-up soon, so hopefully it won't be too much of a disaster. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out. I hope that you had a great reading month in August and that September will be really great for you. And I will see you next time.